knock your eye. I seen a dude eye get knocked out his head.
No.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a lot. Listen, I'd rather get stabbed. I done been stabbed. I ain't. There's no hide that on none of my interviews, because it's like my buddy said, man. He said, man, that's casualties of war, man. Like it happened, but you did what you needed to do. So I've been stabbed, but I'll tell you now, I've never been hit with no lot, but I've seen the work of the lot, and I'd rather get stabbed.
That oil too, that baby oil is
What do you mean?
Because in the feds we got microwaves. I've seen dudes boil baby oil and magic shave together.
Welcome to Miccio Monday. I'm your co-host, Bill Staxx, and my host, Katrina Miccio. How are you, Katrina?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely great. We have a really good show for these guys this Monday.
I am so excited.
Yeah, this one,
great.
Shout out to Chad Marks and all the people that are making a difference in the world. We got an amazing guest for you today. We got Jahid. He's a reformed prison advocate after serving 20 plus years in prison, podcasting, criminal and federal law, interviews, worldwide news, and several other entertainment topics. Here's our second guest on Miccio Monday. What's up, man?
How you doing, man? Good to be here.
I'm doing great.
Nice to meet you.
Same here.
So the basis of our show is we have folks come on that were in prison before. I've been locked up in state prison. I didn't do a ton of time. I did around 5 years my whole time. But she has no experience with the criminal justice system. She's green to all this. And
Total novice.
And this is our second
but
episode.
I'm very, very interested in it. So I ask a lot of questions.
Good.
Yeah, so we're just gonna get right into your story, man.
Let's do it.
So where were you born and raised, and how did it all start out for you?
Well, I was born and raised in a city in New Jersey called Camden, right outside of Philadelphia, right across the Ben Franklin Bridge.
Familiar with it.
Yeah, I've been, and if anybody know anything about the city, they say it's one of the most poverty-stricken cities in the nation, had the most highest murder rate in the nation. And that's per small city because we ain't nothing but like 8 to 10 miles big around. You know what I'm saying? So, I was born and raised there. I got out into the streets a little early, 13 years old. I came off the porch about 12. By the age of 13, I caught a juvenile bit, went down Jamesburg, did 2 years in training school for boys. Bull crap crimes, you know what I'm saying? Selling a little weed, you know what I'm saying? And then stealing cars was jumping back then. This is 85. I came home 87, and this is when things changed around in my life. I was 15 years old when I came home, and on my block they had started this clique up called the 24th Street Black Posse. So I'm like one of the former founder members of that. One of the first ones in it. My big homie, I don't know single names, stuff like this here, but my big homie had put it together, and then I had another homie under him who raised me, who I was under, and from there, man, I just.
You want to explain real quick what a big homie is?
Yeah.
Katrina, because she doesn't have no clue.
No.
Okay. Well, the big homie, that's like he older than me. I was 15. My big homie was like 21 at the time. So these like the ones that give us game. You know what I mean? Teach us the ropes.
Like a mentor?
Like a street mentor. Let's say
street
that.
mentor. Okay.
Yeah, like a mentor, but
okay.
But in a negative way, I could say now.
Of course.
You know
yeah.
Teaching us.
Teaching you bad things instead of right.
The bad things was in this. They just try and tweak them. You know what I'm saying? Do this way, do this way. You might turn out this way in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, I fell up under one of my big homies. We still in touch today. Very notable man. Changed his life around. Got a real big security company. It was bodyguarding some notable people. But I came home and they had the drug trade was big. Crack had hit the city, but around our way we wasn't selling crack. We were selling.
What year was that?
This was 80. I came home in 87, 1986.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah. Drugs were big, big, big.
Powder, right? A lot of times they were selling powder in the mid '80s. It was powder cocaine. People were freebasing it, right?
yeah, they were powder cocaine around
There's
my way.
another kind of cocaine other than the powder part, the powder kind.
Regular coke before they cook it, you know, to turn it into freebase. See, people get misunderstood, right? If you ain't really from the streets, you ain't gonna know this. When the feds they sentence freebase cooked up coke, it's just called cook up out our way. Cooked up coke, and they call it crack. Well, crack is a man-made drug. Crack is more to it than just cooked up coke. And they was charging us 100 to 1 for that, and I fell under the crack law. I got charged 100. Say you get caught with 1 kilogram of cook up, it's like you got caught with 100 keys at that time. So you was automatically facing a life sentence.
And they hit you with life sentences when you get caught with these drugs because they think it's so dangerous, but it's the same drug as cocaine, same thing.
Same exact thing, you know what I'm saying?
The same exact, but you said that it's man-made.
Yeah, do you want to explain the difference, kind of?
Yeah, because regular coke, you cook it up, baking soda, you cook it up, you just cooking all the impurities off of it. Crack, they put in cleanser, ammonia, all kinds of different little stuff into the coke while they cooking it. So that makes it more addictive, you know what I'm saying? So I understood where they was coming from when they were saying crack, but I was in court telling them, no, I don't sell crack. Like, that's not crack, but they wasn't trying to hear it. We just were selling freebase, pure coke, that you cooking all the cut off of it. You know what I mean? And but I wasn't selling that. We were selling powder.
Oh, so they sold. You were selling powder, but they hit you for selling crack.
Well, I had crack in my case. You know, when you catch a conspiracy, it's everything involved in the case, even if you ain't have nothing to do with it, right? Unfortunately, at the time I caught my conspiracy, but that's speeding it up. You were saying what happened when I came home when I was 15. We were selling coke. So around that time, we had the Black Posse, and we had, you know, on our corner, we was getting packages. Some of us elevated in the game, you know what I mean? That's why I said we had big homies. The big homie, you know, telling us how to go about, you know, navigating through the hustle. I was unfortunately one of the ones that ended up elevating in the game to a high level, you know what I'm saying, from a young guy. By the time I was 16, I had bought my first kilo, you know what I'm saying? So when that was back then was nothing but like 16.5. That wasn't a lot. I guess it was a lot back then.
Now there's $60,000 for 1 kilo, and you're talking about 16,000 back then.
Yeah, and I was 16.
How big is a kilo?
Well, a kilo is 1,000 grams of coke. It's like a
suitcase full.
It's like 2.5 pounds.
Like a brick.
Like a half of a phone book. That's how I can give you a good example of. You ever see back in the day the phone books? Well, half of a phone book weighs
about this big, right?
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, that's about a brick. Yeah. Well, that's what they call it. You know, different cities got different terminology. They call them pieces.
Oh, I had the right terminology. I called it a brick.
God, when you were selling these drugs on the street, did you have any problems with like people trying to rob you or
See, that's the
police or anything like that?
The stick-up boys, which is a part of the hustle, and you gotta respect it. They was out. That was big back in my day. Stick-up boys were around. Somebody I was very close to.
She doesn't know what a stick-up boy is.
They the ones come. You hustle, they come take it. All black on, masked up, big guns, lay down. Give me everything you got, or lose your life. You know
they rob you a lot. They're robbing people. They look for drug dealers to rob them on the street.
Run up in your house, take your kid from school, snatch your girlfriend, hold her ransom, all that type of stuff come with the game. I was fortunate enough. No big eyes, little U's in the game. I ain't no fraud. I've been on the internet. One thing I know, if you faking on here, somebody's going to expose you sooner or later. My story is what it is. I was fortunate enough never to be stuck up, never had my house robbed, because somebody very, very close to me had a crew that was doing that. So I never had to really worry about that. Now, I'm not saying that I wasn't targeted, because I had got a phone call from this person. He was like, yo, come holler at me. He's like, listen, your name came up, right? So somebody was trying to come holler at you, and I was like, let me know who. My case is public record. I was charged with 5 homicides. I beat 4, and I took a 24 with a 12 for the 5th one, running concurrent with my 30 in the feds. So my man already know I rock and I go. So I said, who is it? He don't want to tell me their name because he stick to the code, their code. Every gang got a code. We got a code. The stick-up boys got a code. He didn't want to tell me who it was. Listen, I'm gonna clear it up. They cleared it up, so I ain't gonna say I never was a target. I was just fortunate I never was robbed. Right, so I elevated in the game. I caught a state that I had got pulled over in my BMW, and I had 4 kilos on me, 120,000 in cash, and a Mac 11. So I had got a 9-year sentence. I was 18 years old at the time. I went on
9 years?
Yeah, I went on a run from it for 2 years. They caught me when I was 20. I came home when I was 24. When I came home, this is where this all comes into play of what I'm doing now, giving back to the community, doing this prison reform. I came home from doing the 4.5 years.
Why did you only serve 4.5 years?
In our city, in our state, you only do a third of your time on the number. And back then, I had a 9 flat. It was a 9 flat. You do like 3.5 years and come home off of that. So
yeah, so like if you get 20 years, Katrina, you're not doing 20.
Say 3.5 years.
Well, back then, now it's like the feds in my state. It's 85%. You catch 20, you're doing 17. Back then, you only do like 5, and you come home.
You're in New Jersey, right?
Yes.
New Jersey, yeah.
So I came home and I moved to Atlanta, and I had my daughter this summer. This is just how fate works. I had my
Congratulations, man.
Shit. I was taking, well, no, she was already born. I had her down here for the summer in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. So I had I had my daughter down with me for the summer, and I was taking her school shopping. I'm back at it again because home, unfortunately, man, little 18 months here, 2 years there, we don't learn our lesson from that. So I was back hustling again, just cocaine.
Wow.
So I meet
back right away.
And are you selling like a lot at this point, or are you just selling like 8 balls and things like that?
I'm supplying the block 24th Street, but we moved up to 25th Street, and I was like supplying the block.
Then when you were in jail, did you know that you would go back and deal after?
Definitely.
Oh, you knew.
Definitely. I mean,
you definitely knew.
Yeah, it's just the way we come up. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately,
Yeah.
We already know we meeting people from other parts of the city. When we get out home, we gonna connect, we gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Now it's not just your block. Now you know dudes cross town, downtown, over this side of the city, and we networking. We putting it together to form this army to distribute major drugs now. We won't
college for criminals, man. College for criminals.
This is the way that you were raised. Like, so this is all you knew. You knew the streets, and that's what you knew.
Much. I came up in the streets.
And what about your parents? Did you have?
I had parents, but unfortunately, my father was in prison, and my father, he was a heck of a guy himself. That was my role model I looked up to. You know what I'm saying? He's deceased now, but a little bit of his story. He was comes out of a black mafia out of Philadelphia. My pop was from North Philly. He was in the black mafia, so I always looked up to him. Big jewelry, big Benzes. So I've seen this as a kid, but in and out of jail. You feel me? In and out of jail all my life. When I started going to jail, I was in the street. He was in prison. When I was in prison, he was in the street. So we had a good upbringing as far as being young, but as I got older, we wasn't really that much connected.
And your mom?
So my mom, you know what I'm saying? My mom, single black female, raising 2 kids, you know what I'm saying? And then she ended up, getting sick, what was going on in the streets. So I had to step up and take care of my sister too. You know what I'm saying? So that's why me and my sister are so close, and she thinks she's my mom and all this stuff. But she's younger than me. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of responsibility for a young kid, though.
Well, that's normal. That's kind of like normal. It's sad to say, our lifestyle in these hoods, that'd be like normal. You know what I'm saying? Your parents might get messed up. My mom been over 40 years clean now, but your people get messed up in the street. You got to step up and be a man. You feel me? Like, you got to take care of your household. You know what I'm saying? Like, your little brothers and sisters, make sure these bills paid, make sure they eat, make sure they got clothes. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I did for my little sister. You know what I'm saying?
And did you have any kind of education growing up?
This is what's crazy. And this is probably why a lot of people say I elevated in the game the way I did. I went to a private school called Girard College. It's like a boarding school now, but you had to be like you had to take this test, and you had to have this certain type of IQ to even get in this school.
Yeah.
So when I took the test, I went in there in like second grade or third grade. And they said I was like on the 8th grade level. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming straight out of the hood. I've always been real in touch. I'm very, very good with numbers too. So that was like one of my gifts, you know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
but you know, unfortunately, during my high school days is when I was getting this money, you know what I'm saying, 15, 16. So I had my kids early. I had my first kid at 16, and I got kicked out of high school. Also, I came to school. I had a little white 190 Benz when I was in ninth grade. I come to school and
Ninth grade.
yeah, I came to school and this day I had brought in like $8,000 on me to school. So they took and said I was selling drugs in school and this, that, and the third. And how you wanted to look on your record? We kicking you out. You getting out of school today? Either we kicking you out or you gonna sign yourself out. So I signed myself out of school, thinking, you know, damn, I got more time in the street now.
Yeah.
So I didn't get my GED. I got kicked out of school at 16. I didn't get my GED till I went to state prison. I got it when I was like 21 years old. And then
You got it.
Well, at least you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I took my college courses while I was away doing my 30. I had 360 months in the feds. That's 30 years.
It's a long time.
I got my AA and BA in criminal justice. I just studied a lot. I read a lot, and I became a paralegal. I got several notable people out of prison early. I got myself out early. I came home 4.5 years early off the Johnson case, and then I had put them in a box where they had to give it to me. But I'm a career offender. It was actually for the armed career offenders. But I put them in a box so bad, and I've been arguing this same argument as Johnson for 17 straight years. So when I put them in the box, they gave it to me and then closed the door so no other career offender could get it after me. It was really messed up. But yeah,
but you squeezed right through, bro.
Like, when I was in the street, they tried to appeal it and put me back in jail. The judge was like, "Man, I'm not putting that man back in prison, man. Like, he served enough time. Like, I went in very young. I came home, but I came home positive. I got 8 years supervised release. I've been on it for 7 years. You know, in the feds, you're only supposed to do half of your supervised release 4 years. I've been home, no police contact. My wife owns a business that I'll help her operate. I have my own cleaning company business. I do the podcasting. I haven't had no dirties, no nothing. 7 years. I got 10 months left on paper, but I did the whole 8, which I feel like when you're on a high profile case, they keep a sterner. They keep their foot on your neck, thinking that you're going to come home after 20 years, because this is all I ever knew, and this is my pattern. In prison, out hustle. In prison, out hustle.
They don't want you to be the person that they let out and give a chance to fuck it up. They don't want that to happen, so they're trying to let's keep an eye on them so that.
Yeah.
But I think by the time you get done with it, they're going to be like, this guy. They're going to have you working for them, probably. You know.
You know what's crazy too? They don't like me to teach the federal law. Like, why are you I think they was trying to look into something where I couldn't be on my platform teaching it. See, my thing is, I know I can't reach everybody, but if I can reach one person, even if I can't reach you, if you're gonna play the game, because I'll be a hypocrite to tell you what and what not to do. I've been in the streets all my life. If I could just teach you what you're facing, know what you're facing, stand 10 toes down on your crap, and don't bring nobody in with you. You know what I mean? I'm just teaching this all. This is.
I don't think that's being hypocritical. I think it's learning from your mistakes and teaching what's right.
Yeah.
I don't really think that that's hypocritical.
Yeah. But sometimes the life we come from. Oh man, you've been doing this all your life.
Yeah. Well, people say it.
Yeah. And I tell them too. You better find you something to live for. I got 5 little people that I live for, my grandkids, and I'm never going to put them. I didn't see my kids, I got 2 girls. I didn't see them start kindergarten, graduate high school or college. And when I came home, I got grandbabies the age they were when I left them. So I missed their whole life. Wow. I'm not going to miss a day of these kids' life ever. So I tell my people, y'all wasting y'all time with me because I'm never going back in there. Like, I'm one that's never, and I wasn't in the way in there. If you see my story on Chad Marks, like, I wasn't in nobody's way. The feds is a very, very, some of them spots, not them camps and them lows, but them USPs, and I've been in 13 of them, and you don't move for being good. I fought 27 extra years while I was in there because I was a knucklehead when I first fought my time. And I wasn't in nobody's way. In fact, I hate to even say this because I don't want to be a legend in prison, but dudes call me like, yo, it's an honor to speak to you. Like, that's the kind of work I was putting in there too. So,
Yeah.
so my thing is more or less like, find you something out here to live for. And I'm not saying like I'm scared to go to. I don't want to go to jail. I'm not scared to go back no jail. But for what? Ain't nothing. You got to be a fool to want to be in prison, living in that bathroom with another man. I love laying up next to my wife every night, soft, hot, warm skin. You laying on that metal slab on that gym mat, you can't turn over. You gonna be on that floor. Who want to be like that?
And that noise never stops. It's always constant noise.
What
Constant.
noise? Like people
Always.
talking, or what kind of noise?
Well, you got all day long in the day room is gonna be noise. And then when it's lock-in time at night, you got dudes being the vent. I hit tomorrow. Make sure boom, you do this, that, all through the vents, because the vents is just up and down and everything on your row. And in the feds is 2 buildings, 2 tiers on each floor, so you got 4 floors that you hearing this stuff through all the vents. Dudes talking to their next door neighbor through the vent.
So it echoes. There's a lot of
It's a lot of noise. It's constant.
Even when you be on the
noise.
phone and you really can't sit. Men govern men. Like, I've been in units and I always tell them, listen, man, this is where we live. All that racial stuff or whatever that is, leave that outside the door. We live in here, right? We shouldn't have to look over our shoulder, worry about getting killed in here. Leave your company at the door so that way we ain't got to worry about nothing getting stolen out of here. We all in here together. And I was
that work.
The ones
Are you saying it works?
I've never been in a prison that I went in a unit and it didn't run.
Did you ever have people try to steal from you, come in your cell and steal shit? Or can you explain maybe a situation like that?
I had that happen to me in the state, never in the feds. I had that happen to me in the state because why? Everybody think they better than the next person. Everybody think they tougher. Everybody think they did this more in the street. And unfortunately, man, you got people in there that burnt all their bridges and all they could do is steal to try to keep themselves.
How do they get into your cell?
How? They just go in there. Like, you might be at rec, you might be at school, you might be
so the
might be in the shower.
And anywhere.
It's open when you're not there?
Yeah, your cell is open. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you can go in and out of your cell during rec time and things like that.
But the door's open.
When you leave,
not
the cell
doors.
is still open. Right?
Whatever.
Your cell door is open. So all day. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not respected, you're gonna get somebody is gonna steal from you, right?
Wow.
Like, unfortunately, right? I've never had that in the feds. Now, as far as being tried verbally, stealing. Now, because when I go on the unit, I was explaining it to my wife. I said, my first week in the unit, I go on the top tier and I just watch everything. I see how everybody moving, and I just pull up on the thieves. Look, I know you stealing. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't come in. I don't got no lock, right? I'm not putting no lock on my lock. I gotta remember my PAT number.
See everything that's
phone numbers.
Bird's eye view.
Yeah, I can't remember a combination lock number.
Yeah, there's combination. They have locks that they give you to go on the lockers, and a lot of people get assaulted with those.
Oh,
Ori was saying that you put the lock.
Ori Spado, we had Ori Spado as our first guest,
you put
and he was saying
in a sock.
It knocked someone's ear off, man.
Ear, knock your eye. I seen a dude eye get knocked out his head.
No.
Yeah, I mean, listen, listen. I'd rather get stabbed. I done been stabbed. There's no hide that on none of my interviews, because it's like my buddy said, man. He said, man, that's casualties of war, man. Like, it happened, but you did what you needed to do. So I've been stabbed, but I'll tell you now, I've never been hit with no lock, but I've seen the work of the lock. And I'd rather get stabbed.
That oil too. That baby oil is a motherfucker.
What do you mean?
Because in the feds we got microwaves. I've seen dudes boil baby oil and magic shave together. Boil it. I'm talking about
baby oil and what?
Magic shave. You know that you put it on your face and it wipes your hair off?
Like a Nair.
Like Nair.
But it's for men.
So instead of shaving with a razor, they give you this.
It's like a powder, so it gets like thick and like a mud. So they boil it together, and I seen a dude get splashed with it. Listen, it stick to you.
They throw it on each other. Like, they'll boil it in the microwave and they'll throw it in someone's face. And then when they go to wipe their face, all their skin comes off.
Oh, God.
It's crazy. You can see all the muscles, everything.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, that's some of the things that men do in there. I seen a dude get through inside the deep fryer inside of a kitchen, too. Well, the deep fryer is real big. Probably got about 40 things in there to fry fries, because the institution got to feed 2,000 men. and I seen a dude dump a dude right in it, man, boiling. It was like he never hit it. He like hit it and came out. I'm talking about you never seen it, like he melted right on the floor. Yeah.
And his skin was all falling off?
Yeah, he died like from shock, I think. But yeah, I seen that personally. Like I was working in veg prep at the USP Mercury when that happened.
And then people still got to use that equipment and eat with it.
Yeah, I mean they clean it out.
After somebody just died in there.
Yeah,
they just fried Jeff.
Right.
They just fried Jeff, and now we got to cook fries for the inmates.
It's something like that. Yeah, so I just tell guys, man, like it's easy to portray an image out here, right? You got a gun. It's easy to squeeze a trigger. That's nothing, right? And it's easy to pretend to be anything you want to be out here, right? Especially on this internet.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But when you come to prison, all of that is R&D, is receiving and discharge. You're going to check all of that in right there, receiving and discharge, because you're going to go on the compound who you know in your heart you really are. And if you're really not built like you trying to play, you getting ready to go into what they call the belly of the beast. You got dudes out here that's never going home. Like I had a cellie with 13 life sentences, 1 life sentence in the feds. When you got life in the feds, you're out, they say deceased. There's no date for life in the feds. I got a partner that calls me every week. We got double life, been in 29 years, we grew up together. His reality is that prison right now, until we can figure it out with this lawyer, they could get him some get back. And they just passing this new law, we hoping that affects him. But like the reality of life in the feds is that you never come home. And you got guys that's never coming home. You got 200 dudes in your unit. You got 2,000 on the compound. All these different attitudes, all 50 states, different lingos, different toughness, different I'm the man's, all on one. It's a boiling pot for destruction.
Yeah. So and everyone's mad all the time. They're angry. You're locked up. You're away from your family.
You did this to yourself. You stressing over your girl being with somebody else. You had a chance to be home and stay home.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, how does your family survive, like, financially while you're away?
Well, for the most part, some of us was taking care of our families, and some of our, through the years, everybody's family is pretty much working, right? So it's not like I had to be home to make sure my family was good. My family, my mom worked, my sister works, my family, they work. I was one of the ones that was a good dude in the street, and I was fortunate enough to have my mother and sister in my life. And then my daughters, when they came of age, coming to see me, bringing the kids, right? My daughters wrote me through my whole bid always.
Your daughter's mother, she was real cooperative on your...
They went on their way before I even went to the feds.
She was working too? Your wife? Your wife?
Well, I wasn't even with my wife.
Oh.
My wife when I came home.
Oh, okay.
The sad, unfortunate part about prison and during this time, right, is that the person that you're with, 90% of the time, you're not going to be with them when you come home.
No.
Because why? Women, I tell this to the guys on my platform, women got needs, wants, and desires that need to be satisfied. And until you get that, my girl, my girl. Listen, dog, she's a woman, man. First of all, right? You got to know that you got to separate the relationship now to make it a friendship, right? Especially if you got these kids, right? Because you can't be the man she needs you to be in prison. I know that. I had to learn it the hard way, and I didn't want to deal with the reality of it, right? Because I'm a man who want to lose their woman, right? But you can't have her locked up because you locked up. You gotta let her live her life. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the best. And I learned, like, that's going to be the best relationship that y'all ever had in your life, because she don't have to be tiptoeing and lying to you about whatever she's doing, and you're accepting of it. Let me just be in my kid's life.
Yeah, but do you even really want to know? Not really, right?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know nothing like that, because why? What comes with that? The stress.
Yeah.
Right? I've been through it. I know. You get that feeling in your stomach. You can't eat. You're mad. You might kill somebody for anything. You know what I mean? So you don't want to. You don't want to know. But the thing is, I was married when I went away. Like I told her, do what you're gonna do, but do what you're supposed to do. Do you? But make sure I'm good, because I made sure you was good when you was out. When I was out, you feel me?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, man, like some relationships, they say 25% out of 100 make it, and the other 75 just don't.
There are some women out there that love a guy in prison, and they will hold you down. They'll pay money, all this shit.
Wow.
And the visiting hall up and all that. You know what I mean? And there's some out there that love it. You know what I mean? Then there's some that just, you know, they can't take it. And I understand. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, I ain't telling on nobody because that's not in me. I don't never want to. I now treat my wife like I should have treated every woman in my life because I know how to treat them now. Like before I had all this money in, I'm arrogant. I do what I want. I'll be home when I want, see you when I want. Nah, you got to put in what you want to get out of it. You feel me? So now I treat her better than I treated any woman in my life. Why? I don't never want to lose her. And I'm not going to do nothing to jeopardize my marriage. I'm not going back to jail to see if she's one of the ones that's going to stay or leave. Nah.
And she must be so proud of you. She must be so proud of you that you're, you know, so reformed and that you've really turned your life around.
And she knows me, right? Because when I met her, she did her homework on me, like I did my homework on her. Like I had to know who she was, and she went around, he was like that out here. Like, so she know who I am. And for me, my whole city is like proud of me. Like you're the most qualified to be doing what you're doing. Like it's not like I'm a sellout. I just want to get this message out. And I don't care about all these thousands and thousands of followers. Like people know, like this, like YouTube had just took my monetization for some reason. And I thought it was because I was teaching the federal law. They took it for like 7 months. They just gave it back, right? But I never was really getting no checks from them anyway. So, and then I don't do it for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my reward gonna come from the creator. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that I can save from this destruction, because if you get locked up now, you don't want to be locked up right now. This is a bad time to go to jail. Because anybody going in now, you might not make it back out again. The prisons is so crowded with these young guys, and they in there with so much anger, they in there killing. The prisons is bad right now with this murders.
I was locked up with a guy, right? I was locked up with this one guy who was in there for child support. He comes into the county, they stab him and kill him.
See that?
And he's never leaving that place. He's stuck there forever. Like, that's the type of life that you would have to deal with.
Yeah, you asked me about the stealing and this and that. I know a dude, I'm not going to say his name, very close to me. Came in, man, with like 2 years, 3-year violation. Somebody stole his sneakers, killed him. Got life sentence in the feds. Never going home.
Over a pair of sneakers. 2 years
to go home. And that's what I fear.
Wow.
I got a big name in there. If I end up going back, guys in there, you're only as good as your last movie. So, and I ain't had no movies in years. I've been home 7 years.
Yeah.
I didn't have to put no movies down, no demonstrations even before I left because my name preceded itself. Every compound I hit, that's big bro, like stay out, like I ain't had no problems.
You can't live off that past name, Whitey Bulger. It didn't work for him.
Listen, I was in the prison when that happened to him. That's the prison I got released home from. I was there when that happened to him.
Can you explain to us what happened that day? What was it like? What was the ambiance like?
This happened. When they bust the doors at breakfast up in the mountains, it's still dark outside. I always get up and go work out. Me and my man, we go work out in the morning when the doors bust at 6 o'clock. We go down rec 6:30. We come back at 10:30 to go to lunch. Now, it's like the word, Whitey Bulger, it was out that he was there. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't make it long. He was only there. I don't even know if it was a day or two. Like he wasn't there long.
Did you have any interactions with Freddie Diaz or any of them guys?
Nah. See the thing is, in the high level, the USPs, it's like you with your car. You feel me? Everybody's with their car, right? Nobody's.
You want to explain what a car is to Katrina?
Your car is who you roll with. It's either going to be your state. You're going to roll with your state, whatever state you're from, or whatever gang you belong to. Whatever fraction it is. Might be GD. You might be Vice Lord, Blood, Crip, Aryan, Skinhead. Indians roll together. The Ooses, which are the Islanders, Hawaiians, Samoans, we call them Ooses. They all run together. You want Muslims, Christians. You're going to run with your car. It's Mando. You know what I mean? That's just protocol. That's
They
politics.
call it the car, and then they say whoever has the keys to the car is the shot caller. That's the guy who tells people what to do and
well, he's not going to exactly tell you
not
what
tell
to
you
do.
what to do.
He's
But
going to lay the laws down on what's supposed to be being done, and you're going to abide by those laws, because if you don't abide by those laws, you can crash your car, right, with another car. And it's particularly gangs and different races. Your car can crash because we got rules, right?
Yeah, car crashes. That means that somebody is gonna.
That means it's going
that means
up.
the whole groups are fighting.
That means
right?
it's going up.
Wow.
And that's not good, because if it go up here where we're at, it's going to trickle down. It's going to go up every institution, especially if you're somebody and your car go up. And yo, Big Johnny, the Muslims won't. So they're going to set it off in every jail with whoever y'all had the beef with. So for the most part, men govern men. It's changing a lot. My man been telling me with like the politics, because it's the younger guys, they don't want to listen. But when we came in, man, we the old heads now. Unfortunately, I hate to even say it. I say I'm young, flying, flashy. My granddaughter says, "No, Pop, you old, rusty, and dusty." So unfortunately, man, we the old heads now, and I'm glad they letting us out of there though, man. Like, because we don't need to be in there, man. Because you get stuck in there for the rest of your life. But as for that day, that stuff happened to him. That happened early in the morning. It was, to my understanding, it was. I don't be speaking on stuff I really don't know. Like, but to my understanding, it was somebody in the life, and they were saying he told some things, and they went in there and they dealt with him severely.
And his last words were, "Get this over with."
Oh wow.
I heard that, and then I heard he was asleep.
Oh, so we got some exclusive information right there. He heard he was asleep. So
he was asleep, so he didn't even.
I heard he was asleep.
And when you get hit with a lock, I don't think you're gonna wake up. I don't think you're gonna wake up and say, "Get this over with." You just hit me with a lock.
I think that's a great myth, like on some tough. Him was whatever kind of legend he had and whatever.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you something about the feds also. I don't care who he was out here. Like you nobody in there. Like you gotta make your bones in there the way you gotta make them in the street. You could have been whatever he was, whatever leader of the Irish or mob or whatever. I don't know who he was. Like I've seen his story. I watched the Black Mass and all that. And
you were in prison when Gotti was there, right?
Gotti was. I was in when Gotti was in. Yeah, Gotti was
in the same prison.
No, Gotti was in Marion. They had him locked down 24. That's Marion's the one they say you underground, locked down, and all that 24 hours a day. They had Gotti there during his time. You know what I'm saying?
But so were you there when Gotti passed away?
I came home 2016. I believe I was in there when Gotti passed.
Yeah. How about when he got assaulted? Did you hear about when he got assaulted?
I know all about that. You know what I'm saying? I know everything about that, and it happened, and I was in, you know what I'm saying, when all that stuff took place.
I thought he got sick and died. I didn't know that he.
Yeah, he died from cancer.
But I didn't know that he was beat up.
2004, authorities said Gotti got beat up and occurred July 1996 while Johnson was serving a 10-year sentence for bank robbery in federal prison.
Yeah, I know all about the incident, and but I wasn't at the institution, but when you in the feds, the news.
Can you explain what happened when Gotti got beat up, or what you know?
I don't even know what happened.
Today is his birthday. Today is Gotti's birthday, man.
Today. Well,
today.
Well,
I didn't even know that.
This. October 27th is John Gotti's birthday.
I never knew that. Yeah. But when you in there, you're going to hear any big news. It just travels. It's worse than the streets. You would know it the next day. I don't even know what it was about. I just knew when it happened. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, but you just be like, all right, that's on him. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on point, keep your own self alive in there. You know what I'm saying? And out the way, stay out the way, we like to call it. I'm out the way, man. You know what I mean? But my thing is,
when you decided to change your life when you're in prison, right? How hard is it to change your life and live a straight and narrow life while you're in prison with all these criminals and people around you are doing bad shit and you're trying to like do the right thing? How hard was it for you to do that?
See, the thing is you got to know who you are as a man first before anything, right? And you got to know like what are you for real, or do you want this to be your reality? Do you want to stay in here the rest of your life? And long as you ain't no follower and you know who you are as a man, nobody's going to have nothing to say about the decisions you making with your life. You feel me? I knew when I was in there that I never was coming back. I said, I'm never coming back, man. This will be the last time y'all see me. Those of y'all who I really rock with, I'm going to keep in touch. I'm not spreading myself thin. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you. No, I got to figure out how I'm going to take care of myself when I get out there. But if I get on my feet, man, things start going for me. I send you in some because I know how hard it is. Everything costs, laundry costs, phone calls costs.
But you said that you knew when you were in jail that you were going to go back and deal again.
No, this is when he was doing the long sentence. This is his last one.
This is after.
Yeah. See, when they gave me this 30 years, in the beginning, I ain't gonna say I was meeting dudes like, yeah, when I get out, I'm gonna get with your people. Because everybody's in there. Cartel people in there. You got all different type of people in there. You can be whatever you want to be when you come home, you meet some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, I could do it bigger and better this time. They won't catch me next time, right?
The whole illusion. See, that's what I call the illusion. See, the turn and the illusion creates the trick. And then you be back in there, right? Thinking that because I've been in the feds, you got to do it this way, stay off the phone. Listen, they got so many CIs out. Ain't nobody trying to go to jail. Nobody wants to go back in there. So now you got paid confidential informants out here who got what they call handlers, FBI men who handle them. So they out here, they make from $65,000 to $150,000 a year just to tell on people. They give you the jury, they give you the cars, the clothes, the house. You living the whole life just turning people in. So who a weak, spineless dude is all these dudes taking it because they want to really live this life. They being something that they really wish they could have been. Because the feds will pick you up on somebody else's case. You might only been making $200-300 a week and end up in the feds.
The feds will facilitate everything and get you selling their drugs and then bust you for it. It's
get you back in, give you a life sentence, and you're never going to see it coming. Why? Because it's going to be a dude that look like you, got the swag like you, and going to trick you right out your life, right? And that's what makes the games. That's why I tell them, man, the game is over. One thing, the game is over. Nobody's holding the line. Everybody want to be the big boy. All chiefs, no Indians. Don't nobody want to take orders. Don't nobody want to listen. That's why I tell you about the big homies. Like we have big homies. We listen. These dudes don't want to listen to nobody. They think they know it all. Then you got the CI rate is crazy out here. These dudes is telling on their mothers to stay out of jail. So that. And the money ain't even out here like it used to be. So you actually throwing rocks at the penitentiary for crumbs. Like I put a post up. I don't like to brag about no street stuff, this, that, and the third. But it was a time, man. Listen, like we had blocks was doing $20,000-$30,000 a shift. You might have two shifts. You make $60,000 a day selling dimes, right? That money ain't nowhere near like that out here no more, ever no more. You'll never see that again. Why? Because everybody's so greedy and everybody want to be this big boy and there's nobody putting in the work to make it like that. Everybody want instant gratification and fame in the game. When you want instant gratification and fame for the wrong reasons, for all the wrong reasons, right? You got notable men, been somebody in the street, legends in our cities. Like I'm well known home on all sides of the city. I'm well known in the federal prison. I'm a man. I never told nobody. I stood 10 toes down. I took 30 years on the chin. I did my time. I came home. And I don't want to go back in there. And I'm not going back in there for nobody or nothing. And I'm not no sucker, punk, scared, or none of that. I'm not none of that. But you got to be a fool to want to. It's an endless game. It's a one-way street. I tell them you on a one-way street with the pedal mashed to the gas. It's a brick wall down there. You keep mashing. The harder you mash it, the harder you hit it. It's down there waiting for you. You're going to jail.
Like all the dudes on the internet with the guns and shit.
Tell them on themselves. Where they do that? I call them new jack hustlers. The new jack hustlers. The new way. Who does that? In our time, They don't even got no pictures of me. I used to even take no pictures. I'll be wishing now I had pictures to show them jail. I wish I pictures of my car. I never took pictures.
You would have never made it far though back then. Like you wouldn't have made it far, you know.
Oh, and they on here with their guns out, with their money out. They gonna be the first one with their hand up in that courtroom telling on you. Man, he was doing everything. I might have been there. Telling on themselves too. I might have been there when he killed him, but I ain't pulled the trigger. You just as guilty as hell. So, but it's just different out here, man. And then to these guys, man, gotta really get an understanding of what living life is really about, man. Like this is a sad situation we living through.
So let me ask you. I just want to ask a question. When you're in jail, do you like talk to each other about what you did? Like, hey, what are you in for? Blah blah blah. Or
listen, that's the biggest talk on the yard. Well, see, in the feds, right? You gotta have your paperwork, like. When you in there, before when I came in, it was your PSI, your judgment and commitment, your sentence and transcripts, and your docket sheet. Well, they made your PSI contraband because it tells if you told on somebody or not. Your judgment and commitment, they took the last page out, which is called the statement of reasons. They took that off. You can have it, but you can't have your statement of reasons because that tells if you told on somebody. And in prison, if you're a rat, you ain't gonna walk that yard.
But how would anybody know?
Because remember when I told you about your car?
Yeah.
You got to get that paperwork when you hit the compound to the
car.
They got to read they got to know who you are.
And if you give it to them and there's something bad in there, they're coming back with some bad information and it's gonna be bad for you.
If there's something in there that's not supposed to be in there.
Wow.
Have you seen that happen? And can you explain a situation where someone was bad?
I know several situations. I just explain it to you like this. When you get those documents up that I explained, and you give them to the head of the car, they go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And if anything in there is not what it's supposed to be, you're lucky if they tell you, go hit the door. That means go check in, go to the hold, go to another pound.
Now, what's some of the things that would cause that? What are the things in the paperwork?
What's going to cause that is anything you did to a kid, they call that chomo. Like anything you did with a kid, you molest a kid, this, that, you ain't gonna walk no compound with that.
Mm-hmm.
Crime.
Even if you're an 18-year-old kid and you're with a younger girl, they don't care, right?
They don't care nothing about that. If you got that chomo charge on your jacket, you're gonna get dealt with. They're gonna deal with you about that more than tell you just go check in. If you like ratted. Some cars might be, go ahead, you can't walk here.
What else is there besides like molestation?
Ratting, child molestation.
Right.
Sometimes, man, just doing things to women. Anything like that. And that's basically it. Like that's what's gonna get you, just basically the telling, the child molesting, crimes against some crimes against women.
So there are kind of morals in at least.
No, men stand on moral principle.
That's all right.
Yeah, we stand on moral principle.
That is a wild scenario that you're in this dangerous place.
Yeah,
you got these men that stand on something.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, men recognize other men. Men recognize men. So before we get into the gangster stuff, we gonna come together and we gonna talk about it first to see if we can resolve a problem. Men, we gonna talk and try to resolve it because we already know where it's going. These cars gonna crash and we going up. It's gonna be some lives possibly lost. It's gonna be a lot of stabbing and it's gonna get crazy. And we gonna go. So the thing is, we can't make no money warring, right? Because everybody cars into, you might got some people making wine, you might got some people selling different things. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be on here talking about what they sell, but you got different types of hustles in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want to mess up everyone else's hustles and things they got going on.
You don't want to be the cause of that. And not only that, every car got a little hustle. So we can't make no money in the hole, and we're going to leave all the money that owed to us on this compound if we clash, because we're going to leave. And they got away. So before we get into the gangster stuff, let's come to a resolution as men. Let's come to a resolution as men, and let's work around it and live together. And that's, for the most part, a lot of pounds I've been on, It had to be something really, really serious for it to go up. Really serious.
How often do you see guys taking their shit to the door and like, I gotta go?
You might see that. You might see that every day. That's might be something you see because they're not just taking it for being rats or chomos. They taking it because why? They might have ran up a bill on a poker table, ran up a bill with the store man. When they got some stuff from the store, can't pay it, go to the next compound.
Yeah, you want to explain to Kat how the store runs in prison?
Okay, well, you got dudes in the unit. They might got the little store. You might get a 2 for $1 or a 3 for $1. All depends on how they running it. You might get a candy bar. Now, if you're paying it back the next week, they might do it 2 for $1. You get 1 candy bar, 1 bag.
But this is separate. This is like their own little business.
Yeah, but they done built it up through time. So some people got supermarkets in the prison.
They buy their stuff and they stock it up and they sell it. So it's like a little store in the cell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some stores.
They're allowed to have this?
Some stores be humongous. Honestly,
are they allowed to have that? They're not, right? That's contraband.
You're not allowed to have it. But the officers, man, they not. For the most part, officers just don't want you to kill nobody on their watch. They don't want you to have. They don't want you.
Okay.
They don't even mind if you drink. They be like, yo, if my boss come around, which is the lieutenant, if he come around, put your homie in the room. You know what I'm saying? If anything break out, man, this is. So for the most part, they really just want to stay out the way and let you do your bid, do your time.
Tattoos, they let you do stuff like as long as
you leave them alone. How do you get alcohol?
Your whole body done in tats. They know. You know what I mean? You came in with no ink at all. You leave out of here through R&D to your
completely
sleeves.
She said, "How do you make alcohol in there?"
Yeah, what you make it? You make the alcohol.
How you make it? Okay.
Oh, you
make it.
What
I know is I watch dudes take like grapefruit oranges, put it in a bag, let it get a little old, let it get old a little bit.
Some bread.
Pour a little sugar on it to a ferment. See, it's going, bad fruit going to ferment, right?
Nasty.
So it's a Pac-Man effect. When the fruit start to ferment, right?
And yeah,
alcohol come and eats the sugar. The more sugar you put on it, the more alcohol it produces. And that could be, they sell grape juices, orange juices. You pour that in the bag. So it take a case, 24 cans of orange juice, 5 pounds of sugar. Put it in the bag, put the breather on it, put it in the bag, get you a honey jar, cut the bottom of the honey jar. The top part already got the squeeze, lift that, tie it around, the hole in the bottom of the honey jar, tie that in the bag. So that's your breather. And you just let it sit for about a week or two. When it starts to ferment, that ferment going to eat that sugar and it's going to produce alcohol. Now they got something in there called lightning. They put the bag over the bucket, they boil it, and it cooks the alcohol off of the juice.
That's the real deal shit. That's hard alcohol, right?
Water bottle costs $100.
$100?
Yeah, $100 for a water bottle of that lightning. That's what they call that lightning. And everybody wants the first pour. That's $100 right there.
$100.
$100. And see, a person will lose their life about that right there.
Wow.
$100 is a lot of money in jail.
And a lot of people, when they drink, have you seen people get drunk and act out and things and not know where they're at?
Man,
he's seen everything.
I know.
Many years.
Years, shit.
This little guy was drunk, man, in the unit. And you got paisas in there, which paisas are the Mexicans from Mexico. Paisa means country man, country brother or whatever. So the one of the leaders of the paisas, man, my man, like the guy, he was black, man, from North Carolina. He went drunk and shook his stuff on the back of the paisa's head while he was sitting in the chair watching TV. Rubbed it across the back of his head, shaking on, right? Now this is a war. This is a war, getting ready to go. On the strength of me and my cellie, man. My cellie was a good man. He like, yo, Jock, come on up here and talk to me. Like, I'm gonna hold him down. It was another one of our old heads that came with us. He was like, listen, man, on the strength of y'all, we ain't gonna go. Like, I don't know. It would have been crazy because it was gonna be like a race. That would have been a race war, and it would have been crazy.
A big one, right?
All behind him drinking and doing it. It was crazy. That was crazy. That was something crazy that I seen. Like, why would you do like that's like you don't call no man no B word.
Never tell him to suck your Never invite him.
Never do that. Never invite nobody. Never call him a B word. Never call him a rat and you ain't got the proof. And never call him a homo. Those 4 things that get you killed, fat. And the person gonna kill you behind it. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about literally.
And don't look in people's cells.
Well, yeah, you don't want to never walk by.
Why? Because there's things going on in there that.
Well, it's a lot of stuff going on in prison. You got homosexuality going on in there.
I was going to ask about that. I mean, men are men, and they need
guys in there that indulge in that. I just feel like it's a bad gene in a man that it indulges in that stuff. I'll tell my wife all the time, like, I just think that they got a bad gene in them, like, because I could do life in prison. I'm thinking of a man with a tongue rough like mine, legs rough like mine. But then you got them dudes that come in jail that been almost turned into women in the street, and as long as you still got your private part, they put you in the prison with us.
Yeah, but so there's a guy, right? There's a guy comes in. He's got tits, right? Comes in.
Yeah, I've seen that several times.
What the fuck? So he's like, everyone's looking at this guy.
Yeah, the guys that's into
What do you mean?
It looks like a girl. They got boobs.
Well, he might have been
like a transvestite.
Yeah,
transgender, whatever. Yeah,
it was his transformation.
But I think he still had the bat and ball.
If you still got your private parts, you're coming into the prison with us. If you begin the operation, they're gonna put you in a spot called Springfield. They got a unit for them. It's a hospital. They got a unit for them because they know somebody gonna get killed over something like that in there. You got the operation.
A lot of these guys will go to their wife right after they're with these guys.
And this is what I just put my post up about too. Women gotta be so very, very careful, man, because you got dudes in here that look rougher than me, that don't think it's homosexuality for them to go get head, mess with the dudes, then they come home and mess with these women. Who messes with the next guy, who messes with the next woman, who messes with the next guy. And it'd be like a chain effect of HIV. It's very dangerous.
Wow.
When you coming home, you got to get a physical. You're going to get an HIV test with that physical. And I encourage women out there, because there's some good dudes in prison. You got good men in there, like they ain't messing around and stuff. But still at the same time, you always want a dude coming home from jail to show you this paperwork, this physical. And if he ain't got it updated, you need to go make sure that before you even sleep with him, go get a physical. Like, because I just
did tell you the percentage of how many people have it is crazy. It's like 80%.
80% of men
check it right now.
They'll have HIV.
I'm gonna check right now.
It's a lot. And just on a personal note with it, I had a homie from Jersey in there. He was messing with a boy. He was telling me, man, I never want to be with a woman again. So and then this boy was like one of the ones, butt, titties, but had the man parts. So he was messing with the boy. He came home and gave a girl HIV.
Oh, God.
My brothers killed him. You know what I'm saying? My homie, our brothers killed him behind it. So you being here, knowing you're going to return back to this free world, messing with these men and coming home dealing with these women like you never did nothing, like you the roughest, toughest. So it's really dangerous. It's really, really dangerous.
1.1% of people in prison have HIV.
And I go for that because it's a lot.
And
it's not just homosexuality. Guys sharing that needle.
Yeah.
Dope is very high demand. Like they be in there shooting.
How about when you were in federal prison? How was the drug use in there? People using binkies, right? They had binkies.
Binkies? Like a baby binky? Like a baby pacifier?
No,
I've never seen that. Where I was, every place I've been, then whatever's in the streets is there. You know what I'm saying? So
a binky is just a little pen. A pen with a rubber band on the end, and they make a needle.
They go, see, dudes.
No, binky is a baby pacifier.
Dudes is insulin in there, so when they go shoot their insulin, everybody's crafty. You're dealing with criminals. They end up, you're supposed to break your jaw and put it in the little red biohazard box in the medical, but they bring them out. So now syringes on the pound. Then you got guys
fishing them out of there and shit.
Yeah, well, you got guys that work in medical, right? They work in the medical department, and they bring them out and sell them. You know what I'm saying? It's all hustles. Everything is a hustle. You know what I'm saying? not to be talking too much about the prison. I don't want to be like, oh, if somebody say, oh, and I'll be there, oh, Ja blew it up. Talking about we
Yo, Ja.
So I can't go back to jail no more.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go back there.
No, you're not going back to jail.
I'm never going back in
you are not going back to jail.
You're
totally reformed. You have a great attitude.
Yeah, I just know better. I know better.
Of course you do. I mean, anything's got to be better than being in jail.
Man, I get on. This is my therapy. Like I used to get on my platform every day, man. It's crazy because since my wife opened the restaurant, I'll be there more and I don't really be having time. That's why I was trying to tell you, like, but then when you hit me, I was like, yo, I'm gonna jump on for him. And you know how many people contact me to come on their Jones to do this, but I'll be so busy, I'll be so tired. You know what I mean? I'll be wanting to get in the shower. I'm gonna turn to like my wife said, oh, you turned into an old man. But I used to get on every day and just be on here for hours and hours. And had 600, 800 people in my chats on YouTube.
Wow.
Just busting it up, man. My channel grew. I had got like 3,000 followers in 3.5 months. You know
well, I really hope that you get the message out. You're doing really, really great.
I'm trying.
No, I applaud you.
Yeah, you gotta give yourself a pat on the back, man.
Yeah.
I just, my thing is I'm humble, man. I stay humble. And I know that, man, whatever the creator got planned for me, it's going to come to me. Because we got a saying, kun fire kun. What's for you, it's going to be what it's going to be. What's for you will never pass you by. And what's not for you, it just never was. Right? So I put all my trust and all my hopes and all of that goes to my creator, right? If I could just get my message out to 1 or 2 people, I'm cool.
That's
my Instagram is starting to go a little crazy. I think I'm viral right now. I got one video doing like 46,000. I got another one at like 60,000. Another one at 20-some thousand. I just put them up all this week.
This is about to go viral, man. I know this interview about to go viral, man.
I hope it does, and I hope it does because I would love to see y'all's platform. Bro, see, anybody who got a platform that's giving out a message, we're the ones that's supposed to have 100, 200,000 followers.
Yes,
we're supposed to have it. We're the ones who should be getting a check for content versus beef.
Yep.
They paying these guys 20. I personally seen a person with a YouTube check for 30 grand.
Listen, man, I'm getting right into that beef. I'll be right in it tomorrow.
glorifying the reform, and this has been so informative. And thank you so much for being with us.
Listen, I'm glad I could be here, man. I love to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to come on. I love to kick it and just give up the real. You got dudes on here. It's crazy. Unfortunately, all these followers telling prison stories. Chad is like one of the best channels that I tip my hat off to. That's really, really on the prison story side of things.
Yeah.
Because you got dudes on here glorifying it, then getting called out. Nigga, you wasn't built like that. Like,
yeah.
You know, and I know this person personally too. But he making money on here, man. I ain't no hater. Do what you do. But I just feel like we the ones that should be getting it.
Hey, man, we're going to keep striving and we're going to get our faces out there. Miccio Monday. This thing's going to be taking the world by storm, man.
Y'all going to do good because it's already professional. You feel me? Already, y'all, it feel like a large platform, right? And I've been on platforms. So
wow.
Y'all going to do great. Y'all going to
awesome.
be great. And I'm glad that I had the chance to be a part of it because when I sit back, when I'm like, yo, I was on that joint when they kicked it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had 300,000 followers when I was on there. And y'all gonna have it. Y'all gonna have it.
Thank you.
I think so.
Good juju.
We got good plans.
We want to bring out only the good,
Bring the good men on and
bring the goodness out. Yeah, there's goodness in everything.
But you want to give anyone a shout out before we go? And do you want to tell the people where they can get in touch with you and what type of services you offer?
You can get in touch with me. This is my logo right here. Concrete Chronicle Podcast on YouTube. Concrete _Chronicles _podcast on IG. What I do, man, I give out the prison reform. I put up videos of what's really going on. I got people who send me videos from the inside. Some of them are very graphic, but I only put those up not to glorify what's going on inside the institutions, to show you what's going on inside the institution, so you don't end up there and that end up being you in one of them videos. So that's why I put those videos up, not to glorify, and I always put a deep comment under it when I write, because I witnessed a lot of this stuff personally, and I've been involved with a lot of it personally. And you know, man, my message, man, that I give like on my platform: stay sucker free and stay free if you've been to prison, man, because only a sucker gonna send you somewhere you don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? Don't be no followers out here, man. Don't follow somebody right off the bridge and kill yourself. And that's what's happening out here. People leaving you. Ain't no big homies no more. People leading these young youth, man, straight into the abyss. You know what I mean?
They need to see the writing on the wall, man, and follow people like you with a positive message.
Listen, and you know, I haven't always had a positive message. You know, this is all, and I'm not even gonna say it's new to me. This is what God put in my path. I'm not gonna. My mom said, "Would you take back anything you did?" I said, "Mom, I would never take back nothing I did, for the simple fact that if I took any of it back, I wouldn't even be the man I am today."
You wouldn't be able to teach the good of it. Yeah.
I got regrets of my past.
Or you wouldn't be grateful. You'd be on your way back. You wouldn't be grateful. You'd have, like, it would be
This is a great attitude to have.
Unanswered questions, you know?
Yeah.
But thank you so much, man. Yeah, it's been an absolute great interview. Like, way better than I expected, man.
Oh, man.
And I learned a lot, too.
I hope you did. He told me that you didn't know much about the institution.
I don't know anything. I'm a total novice at all this. That's why, I'm asking questions that people that, don't know, that are novices too, about jail and all of this. So I'm asking questions that a lot of people don't know things about, and Bill might know. But
because I've been there. I haven't been to the feds though. The no feds for me, man.
No difference.
Right, so you're learning too. So this is good.
And I wanted to tell you something too. You said, man, I ain't do a lot of time. This is what I tell people too, man. One day is too much time. You're never getting it back. There's no difference between your 5 years that I've done and that you've done and the 20 that I've done. Why? Because you went through everything I went through in those 5 years, everything, right? And you're not getting a day of it back. Not getting nothing. So
yeah, those days I was like,
one day is too much.
You don't
never say my little 5 years. 5 years is a half of a decade. And they call it decades for a reason.
That should be a slogan. You don't get your time back. You don't get
none of it back.
You don't get that back.
None. So that's the message too, man. Y'all gotta watch what y'all do, man. Make better decisions with your lives, right? Make way better decisions with your lives, man, because your lives is worth more than living in the bathroom with another man for decades. And that's what they're giving out now. Decades. So that's where I'm at.
Some people think they're too smart for all that, I'm smarter than that. I'll give over on.
Okay. And then you think you're too smart for it till you end up somewhere you really don't want to be, for being somebody that you're really not.
And then the video of them is playing on your Instagram, and it's like,
then somebody done sent me the video of you getting dragged to your cell, stabbed up.
I saw that one. That was a bad video. Guy's bloody, and they're dragging him to the cell all bloody.
Yeah, and it's real stuff, man. This stuff will get sent to me all the time. I'm fortunate enough that dudes, they reach out to me. They follow me from prison on their little phones, and they be sending me in stuff. Yo, big bro, heck, something for you, man. I'll get back in touch with you, though.
Definitely, man. Thank you so much, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Really
and
great.
Eventually, we're gonna do more. We're trying to do a live show eventually in New Jersey or Long Island, right?
Y'all from New York?
She's from Jersey, right?
I live in New Jersey, but we were thinking about doing something in Manhattan.
Yeah,
I'll be there. I come home a lot. You know what I'm saying? If y'all do something and y'all have me on, I'll come on live with y'all. Like,
that would be great.
I'll be up there.
I
come with my grandkids. So
definitely, man. I appreciate you, and we'll be talking to you soon, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all bringing me on.
Definitely.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Thanks for everything. That was great.
That was our second guest on Miccio Monday. So how'd you like that one?
I mean, every time we do a show, I'm learning so much. I didn't know what a car was. I mean, I know what a car is, but I'll never get in my car and not think of that again.
You'll never look at the name car again the same, right?
No.
It's pretty wild, the things that goes on.
I'm the car of my own car.
Yeah, you're the shot caller. You're the key holder.
I'm the shot caller of the car.
The key holder, the guy who holds the keys, drives the car.
Yeah, well,
I got the keys for my car. At least I got the keys for my own car. Finally now, right? So we got some amazing guests lined up. We're going to be having some females on that have been to prison, and we're going to have guests who are in prison. I'm excited for the future of this show.
I am. Let me ask you: are there any prisons that are mixed, or there's just female prisons and male prisons?
No, there's no co-ed prison.
No co-ed.
No. Rehabs. There's
nothing about this.
There's co-ed rehabs, but there are prisons where, like, there's like county jails where girls will be on one floor and then the guys will be on another floor, so they'll be able to talk through the toilets and things. But I've never been to a prison where there was girls.
Like an event or something?
Yeah, like they talk through the toilet. They take the water out and talk through the toilet. Yeah. They talk through the toilet.
Through the toilet bowl.
You never seen that show,
Oz?
Love After Lockup?
No.
You gotta watch it. Love After Lockup.
Okay.
And it's about like people who meet inmates who are in prison, and they write them and they end up in a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And then they explain like how they met and things. And they explain how they talk through the toilets and all this stuff. Through the toilet.
How do you know where it's going to go?
I don't know. I never did that type of stuff.
Like what toilet goes to what toilet?
So they like flush a string down the toilet, and then the other person flushes a string.
Yeah.
The strings get tangled, and then you
why
pull
would a string go to another toilet bowl?
Because the pipes all lead to each other. They all lead to each other. The pipes all go to the same place. Oh. So if I flush mine down the toilet, a string, you flush yours from your cell, and then our strings tangle. I pull mine back, and I got your string. So now you tie a note from the end of your string and put it in a bag, and it goes right through the water, through the pipe, out the other side.
Like a letter in a bottle, right?
Yeah. I guess. You got to wear gloves when you read this letter.
Yeah.
Oh man!
You pull my string, I'll pull yours.
No. Oh, that sounds gross.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, going through the toilet's not gross.
Oh man! But thank you so much, Kat, for joining me tonight. This has been a great interview, and we're gonna get this one out for Monday.
Miccio Mondays.
Miccio Monday.
Till next Monday.
Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get our videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this podcast, leave a review and tell us why. And remember,
why would they not like us?
I don't know. Certain people don't like me. It's okay. I love everybody. It's mind over matter. I don't mind because they don't matter. But we got some surprises coming up for you guys. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a giveaway. And we got a lot of good things in the future. Thank you for joining me, Katrina.
Thank you for having me on Miccio Monday.
We'll see you guys next Monday. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks.